Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today's video is about an indie game, called Wizard of Legend. I accidentally forgot to press the record button while playing the tutorial, so I have to reset the game data. The game actually asks me twice if I'm sure about resetting the game, and I have to tell him that I'm super sure. Now, I can actually tell you what this game is all about. You see this little guy in the red hood? It's me, the legendary wizard wannabe. The game starts with us entering a museum, where people can see achievements of former legendary wizards whom fought the chaos. This kind lady gives us the VV ability, so we can go crazy like that other dude chasing his sanity in the corner of a ducking museum. In this next room, they teach us about elements and how they affect the function of an arcana. There are 5 elements and they affect each other almost like how they did in Naruto. Don't worry, it's not that complicated unless you are as dumb as Naruto. Generally speaking, each element is stronger against its right side element and is weak against its left side element. For example, fire is strong against enemies who have the air element and is weak against enemies who have water element. Also, if you attack an enemy who has the fire element with an arcana of the same element, it reduces your damage by 20%, which is the double of the amount for when you attack them with a windy arcana. So worst case scenario is fighting against an enemy with a matching element. After finding out about this interesting power system, we head to the next room where Colonel Roy Mustang has found envy and lust, so we just pretend that we didn't see shit and head to Roronoa and get our own flame alchemy. Then we go to the dummies and stare menacingly at them, before blasting on them like how Thera Santorini blasted on the Atlantis. That felt so good. Now, back to our journey to defeat the chaos. In the next room we can see Endeavor trying to defeat Nomus. Endeavor is actually using a kind of arcana called the Signature Arcana, that is the powerful version of the normal arcanas. So we head to Colin Stotfeld and get our Signature Arcana from her. Then, we go back to the dummies.
Nope.
I'm not gonna give in to my inner demons so easily. Or so that's what I thought. This is going to feel confounding. Yeah, maybe not. Let's head out to the next room where the former avatars are imprisoned in a showcase for people to feed them. JK, these are actually important council members that will examine our potential and will act as the final bosses in the game. In the next room they teach us that Diablo has 3 character classes, the warrior, the rogue, and the sorcerer. So we VV to the next room and see some Negro arcanas. As a white man, this little guy in the red hood had to whip his imaginary slaves. Then, we go to Isaac Netero and he tells us about how enemies drop gold and gemstones. We can buy things with this gold and gemstones, but we will come back to it later. Right now, we are in a part of museum where simulates the real dungeons. We have to jump over the traps and collect relics and arcanas. And we have to fight the enemies. These homunculuses thought they can rebel against the government. How foolish. So, I had to hit them with the he can. So we defeat all of the enemies and get an extra arcana. These extra arcanas can be found in the normal runs of the game, but will be deleted once you die. We have to fight a bunch of enemies in the next room as well. But we can defeat them a little bit faster, thanks to our new arcana. Look at this fight carefully. I tried to be away from this sorcerer's attack, but ended up getting caught in it and then fell off the edge. The problem is, this game has no iframe. What is an iframe? It's abbreviation of invincibility frame, a single time unit in video games during which a character cannot be hurt. It either can be while jumping, rolling, or even performing an attack. By the way, look at this huge flame attack I just do. By attacking your enemy with basic arcanas, that blue bar under your HP charges up and when fully charged, your signature arcana gets stronger. Back to explaining the iframe when the little guy is drinking ambrosia. Synergetic iframes are highly contributory in games with a high-speed combat system where a lot of attacks are in action at a time, like Dark Souls or Devil May Cry. Fights in Wizard of Legend are also very fast and you must perform flashy plays to survive the battles. With that being said, we end the tutorial and get to the last room of the museum. There is a shield relic here, that belonged to a legendary wizard whom fought the chaos or some shit, I don't know, I didn't actually read any of this and just assumed the story. Haha. Anyways, that shield goes nuts and teleports us back to our house where we live with our pet appliances. The talking magic mirror complains to us about stealing him from Snow White's stepmother and tells us that he might kills us in our sleep. Then there is this closet where we can choose our outfit based on our mood, so I chose patience so I wouldn't break this useless mirror. Then, there is this book where you can choose between different arcanas. At the moment we have no arcanas and we have to earn them by playing the game. But since I am a stylish person, I chose water-based arcanas to match my new outfit. And last but not least, there is this mimic that holds our relics for us. Since we only have 2 relics and one of them is the ticket of that damn museum, we chose this icy Pokemon and head out to the new world. There is nothing more in this house. This is the beginning city, where all the shopkeepers are at and you can buy the relics, arcanas, and outfits which you need from them. First, I go to Hachikyoji father and take a look at his stuff, but none of these relics are good for us. Then I see the arcana shop, but we need something before we buy any arcanas. I go to the tailory and buy this gray outfit. It is very necessary for our grind in the game, because it increases the amount of gold and gemstone gain. After that, for fashion purposes I go back and buy some arcanas to match my looks. It's all we can do with the gemstone we have at the beginning of the game. Now, we try our new deck. I chose this arcanas because they have the most amount of stun and knockback among the starter arcanas, so we have more chance to defeat the enemies at our first runs of the game. Here you can see that with the appropriate combo, I can stun the enemies for more than 2.5 seconds. It's good for now. Let's go to our first dungeon and see if we can earn something. This cute knight wanted to stop me, but didn't know that I have watched the drive and I am the only hope they have against the chaos, so he let me pass when he sees my the drive outfit. Ignore these scammers gathering around the summon circle for now. Beware, once you go through this gate, there is no coming back.